I just saw it and threw it, so it paid off, and that's kind of just what happens when I fight.
Out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, I think I've injured my left arm, but I think I'm just more gutted because I've been out.
For PFL and see what we can come up with, but I just beat the best girl that's out there out of any other division, so
Dakota Ditcheva is known for her friendly personality, her calm composure, and her charming presence outside the cage. But people who only see that side of her have no idea what she becomes when the fight begins. Behind the smile is a fighter with a frightening switch, a fighter who becomes ruthless, violent, and unstoppable the moment someone steps into the ring with her. She doesn't talk much, she doesn't brag, and she doesn't need to. Her fists, her knees, and her kicks speak loud enough. And anyone who disrespects her or challenges her with bad intentions finds themselves paying the price. In this story, we look at the fighters who pushed Dakota to her limits, fighters who underestimated her sharpness and aggression, and fighters who felt her full power when she turned angry. These fights show why Dakota Ditcheva is one of the most feared rising stars in the combat world. Someone capable of sending opponents to the hospital, ending careers, and delivering finishes that leave crowds stunned. One of Dakota's toughest early challenges came against Georgina van der Linden, a veteran fighter with more than 70 wins and decades of experience. While Dakota was still young, Georgina was a seasoned warrior who had been through countless battles and wasn't intimidated by the rising star across from her. From the very first round, Dakota charged forward with her usual aggression. She fired powerful straight punches, heavy combinations, and clean shots down the middle. She looked like a young fighter determined to prove she belonged in the ring with a veteran. But Georgina didn't panic. She used her vast experience to slow Dakota down, using the clinch, positioning, and timing to smother Dakota's early momentum. Every time Dakota came in with a heavy attack, Georgina tied her up, controlled the pace, and reminded the crowd why she was such a respected veteran. The second round saw Georgina come alive, pushing the pace and throwing volume. Dakota suddenly found herself stepping back, dealing with pressure instead of giving it. It became a real battle. Someone young, fearless, and explosive against someone experienced, calm, and smart. By the third round, both fighters were locked into a back-and-forth war. They traded punches, fought in the clinch, landed powerful kicks, and pushed each other's limits. The crowd was on their feet as both women refused to take a step back. It wasn't just skill, it was heart versus heart. In the fourth round, Georgina came out strong again, but Dakota adjusted. She used crisp kicks, smart counters, and better clinch control. She began to take momentum back, showing that she could adapt even under pressure. The final round was explosive. Georgina kept coming forward, but Dakota chopped her down with counterattacks, punishing leg kicks and accurate punches. When the bell rang after 5 rounds of non-stop action, Dakota's hand was raised. She earned that victory through grit and toughness, proving she wasn't just talented, she was a fighter built for war. Dakota's Muay Thai debut in Thailand in 2015 showed everyone exactly how dangerous she was. She faced Hongfa Jalimphak, a fighter who tried to match Dakota's aggression and fight fire with fire. But Dakota's intensity was too much. Within seconds, she had taken full control of the fight. She walked Hongfa down with front kicks, heavy hooks, and relentless pressure. Hongfa tried to fight back, but Dakota stayed in her face, forcing her backward until she trapped her in the corner. Then Dakota launched a knee so hard that it looked like it split Hongfa's body in half. Hongfa crumbled, overwhelmed by the power. It was a statement performance. Dakota wasn't just talented, she was dangerous. In 2017, Dakota faced Kat Payton, and the fight was a showcase of Dakota's precision and cruelty inside the ring. Payton tried to survive by clinging to Dakota, using the clinch to slow the fight down. But Dakota was patient. She used push kicks, set up combinations, and waited for the perfect opening. Then she found it. Dakota fired a liver kick so loud that it echoed through the arena like a gunshot. Payton bent over, clutching her side in agony. She tried to continue, but the second liver kick finished the job. She had no choice but to fold. Payton got up after the referee's count, but the fight was already over. Dakota had broken her with body shots, a signature weapon that would become one of her trademarks. One of Dakota's most savage finishes came against Emma Bragg. From the first bell, Dakota attacked like she had been released from a cage. She walked Bragg down, fired shots with bad intentions, and sent her spinning with a vicious knee to the midsection. Bragg tried to survive, but Dakota kept the pressure on. Another knee forced a standing count. Bragg clutched her stomach, trying to hold herself together, but Dakota's precision made escape impossible. By the second round, Bragg had nothing left. She turned away in pain, unable to continue. The fight was stopped and Dakota's dominance was undeniable. It was another reminder that when Dakota gets the smell of blood, she becomes relentless. By 2019, Dakota had become one of the scariest young talents in Muay Thai. Her fight against Tatiana Olmo proved just how overwhelming she could be. From the opening bell, Dakota stormed forward with sharp front kicks and powerful combinations. It didn't take long before Olmo was dropped to her knees. She got back up bravely, but Dakota wasn't slowing down. She forced another count and another and another. Dakota became a machine, walking forward, throwing precise combos, and refusing to give Olmo any breathing room. Eventually, she scored a fourth knockdown, ending one of the most dominant performances of her career. 4 knockdowns in one round. Pure violence. After terrorizing the Muay Thai world, Dakota decided to try MMA. Her debut came against Jenny Line, who unfortunately became the first victim of Dakota's MMA career. From the start, Dakota moved like a seasoned veteran, switching stances and throwing powerful kicks. One big shot wobbled Line early, and it was clear Dakota had the advantage everywhere. She pushed Line against the cage, landing clean elbows and brutal knees. Line collapsed to the floor, but Dakota wasn't done. She even showed off her grappling, taking the fight to the ground before letting Line stand again, because she wanted a knockout finish. Moments later, Dakota connected with a spinning attack followed by a knee to Line's face, ending the fight. It was the perfect debut, violent, dominant, and unforgettable. Dakota's next MMA opponent, Patricia Buarez, tried to wrestle her. That was a mistake. Dakota's takedown defense shocked everyone. She stuffed attempts, reversed positions, and then did what she does best, unleashed elbows. Buarez was forced to cover up as Dakota hammered her with vicious shots. The referee stepped in to stop it. Another finish. Another dominant performance. Fans began comparing her to Ronda Rousey, a young, unstoppable force taking over the sport with violent finishes and a confident attitude. Dakota wasn't just winning, she was destroying. Then came Levi Steedman, a wrestler with submissions and a dangerous ground game. A big test. Dakota started strong with knees to the body, but Steedman managed to lift her up and slam her to the ground with a huge takedown. For a moment, Dakota was in trouble. She was stuck under a strong grappler, tasting the toughest part of MMA. But Dakota stayed calm. She fought her way back to her feet and started applying pressure again. Big right hands, big kicks. She turned the fight into a battle of heart and fire. In the third round, Dakota dropped Steedman with a huge punch and even attempted a guillotine choke. The fight went the distance, but Dakota showed she could handle adversity. She proved she wasn't just a striker. She was becoming a complete fighter. As an amateur, Dakota faced Shauna Bannon, who later made it to the UFC. It was a clash of talent and intensity. Both fighters landed hard shots, traded kicks, and pushed the pace. Dakota destroyed Bannon's legs with kicks, forcing her to wrestle out of desperation. Whenever Bannon tried to take Dakota down, she was met with hard strikes, elbows, and knees. The fight went the distance, but Dakota's confidence was clear. She walked away knowing she had just beaten someone who would later fight on the world stage. Dakota's rise continued when she entered the Professional Fighters League, PFL, one of the world's biggest MMA organizations. Her second PFL fight was against Catherine Corrigines, and Dakota showed immediately that she had adjusted perfectly to the professional level. From the beginning, Dakota used her kicks to control distance. She stayed calm, picked her shots, and countered perfectly whenever Corrigines tried to close the gap. Every time Corrigines attempted to wrestle, Dakota stuffed the takedown and punished her in the clinch with knees. Then Dakota found her moment. She unleashed a huge right hand that smashed straight into Corrigines' jaw. Corrigines dropped instantly. Dakota rushed in, but the fight was already over. The referee stepped in before more damage could be done. A clean knockout, another first-round finish. another statement. People began to understand Dakota was not just another prospect, she was becoming a star. Dakota advanced to the semifinals to face Cornelia Holm, a well-rounded and durable fighter from Sweden. Holm was known for her wrestling and toughness. Many wondered if she would finally be the one to push Dakota beyond her limits. It took 30 seconds for those doubts to disappear. Holm shot for a takedown almost immediately, but Dakota was ready. She sprawled hard, defended beautifully, and refused to hit the mat. When she separated, she fired punches like bullets. Every single shot Dakota landed sent Holm stumbling backward. Dakota's timing was perfect. Her right hand was like a laser, fast, accurate, and deadly. Then it happened. Dakota threw a crisp 1-2 combination that snapped Holm's head back and sent her crumbling to the canvas. Holm tried to survive, but Dakota followed with a crushing kick, sealing the finish. Another knockout, another highlight, another warning to the division. The PFL had never seen a young female talent rise this quickly with this much brutality. The finals arrived in Dublin, where Dakota faced Italy's Valentina Scatizzi for the PFL European Championship and a prize of $100,000. Dakota walked out dancing, relaxed, smiling. But her eyes showed something else, the fire of someone who had trained for this moment her whole life. Scatizzi pressured her immediately, trying to smother Dakota and make the fight ugly. Many fighters had tried this before, hoping to avoid Dakota's sharp striking. But Dakota welcomed it. Inside the clinch, she remembered her Muay Thai roots. She fired knees straight into Scatizzi's face. Sharp, painful, perfectly timed. One knee forced Scatizzi backwards. Another connection is even cleaner. A third shattered her resistance. Scatizzi's face began to swell horribly, her left eye ballooning until she could no longer see. The ringside doctor took one look and stopped the fight. Dakota had won by TKO due to a medical stoppage. The fight didn't go 5 rounds. Dakota didn't need that much time. She dominated. She was destroyed. She conquered. In the center of the cage, Dakota danced again as they placed the championship belt around her waist. Tears mixed with joy as she hugged her mother, former kickboxing world champion Lisa Howarth. Dakota credited her mother for her power, her toughness, and her fighting spirit. The young girl who once fought in small Muay Thai venues was now a champion in one of the biggest fight leagues in the world. In 2024, Dakota kicked off her PFL American season. This time, elbows were legal, a weapon she loved and had used devastatingly in her early Muay Thai and MMA fights. She faced American fighter Lisa Molden, and Dakota wasted no time setting the tone. She opened with clean striking, then showcased surprising judo skills by off-balancing her opponent several times. 4 minutes in, she landed a beautiful right-left combination to the body that made Molden gasp. Moments later, Dakota connected with a massive knee to the ribs. Molden crumbled to the canvas, clutching her midsection. She got up only to be knocked down again with another body attack. Dakota kept dropping her with brutal body strikes until the referee finally stepped in. Another first-round finish. Another 6 points in the PFL. The message was clear. Dakota Ditcheva was not just winning, she was destroying everything in her path. Next came Chelsea Hackett. Unfortunately for Hackett, she made a tactical mistake. She chose to stand in the middle of the cage and trade punches with Dakota. She lasted only seconds. Dakota cracked her with a clean 1-2 that sent shockwaves through the arena. Hackett immediately tried to clinch, but Dakota began mixing shots to the head and body. With perfect timing, Dakota landed a brutal shot to the liver, the kind that steals your soul. Hackett collapsed, rolling toward the side of the cage. Dakota swarmed with finishing shots until the referee saved her. Another first-round finish, another dominant performance, another showcase of power, precision, and pure violence. With 2 first-round stoppages, Dakota earned the maximum 12 points and entered the playoffs as the #1 seed. She was now officially the star of PFL's women's division. In the semifinals, Dakota faced grappler Jenna Bishop. Bishop had a strong ground game and looked determined to drag Dakota into deep waters. That plan didn't last long. The moment Dakota landed her first knee, Bishop folded. Dakota, wanting a clean finish on the feet, motioned for Bishop to stand up. A humiliation tactic Dakota used whenever she wanted to show dominance. Once Bishop stood, Dakota unleashed violent combinations that forced the referee to step in. She had secured another first-round finish and punched her ticket to the championship. But what came next would be the biggest moment of her career. Dakota's next opponent was Taila Santos, the same fighter who nearly beat UFC champion Valentina Shevchenko. Santos was considered one of the toughest women in the sport. She had world-class grappling, heavy striking, and experience at the very top level. Many believed this would finally be the fight where Dakota was pushed to her breaking point. Dakota saw it differently. As she walked out, dancing, relaxed, and glowing with confidence, it was clear she wasn't scared of Santos. She was excited, she was ready, and then the cage door locked. Dakota attacked immediately with sharp leg kicks. Santos tried to close distance to wrestle, but Dakota shrugged her off with superior strength and footwork. When Santos tried to clinch, Dakota fired front kicks directly to her face, snapping her head back. The crowd gasped. Santos had never been hit like that before. Dakota sensed weakness and turned up the heat. She landed a clean right hand that shook Santos. Dakota followed with an elbow, then another. Santos's defense crumbled. Dakota's pressure became overwhelming. She landed knees. She landed body shots. She landed combinations that echoed through the arena. Finally, Santos collapsed against the cage. The referee ran in. The fight was over. Dakota Ditcheva had just beaten a former UFC title challenger, and she did it with style, confidence, and brutality. She became Britain's first female MMA world champion. She became the youngest champion in PFL history. She became a superstar. In the middle of the cage, Dakota celebrated by pulling out lipstick and applying it playfully. A signature moment showing that despite the violence she brings, she remains uniquely herself. Dakota Ditcheva is a rare kind of fighter. Someone who looks sweet, speaks softly, and carries herself with grace, yet transforms instantly into a ruthless destroyer once the fight begins. Every opponent who tried to pressure her, disrespect her, or challenge her strength discovered the same thing. Dakota has two sides, and the angry side is terrifying. She has power to break fighters with body shots, knees that shut down organs, elbows sharp enough to end fights instantly, speed and precision that overwhelm anyone, a killer instinct that activates the moment she smells weakness, and perhaps most importantly, she is improving with every fight. Dakota is not just a rising star, she is a future legend in the making. With 13 career finishes, 12 by knockout, she has created one of the scariest resumes in women's MMA. Fans and analysts already believe she could one day dominate even the UFC. She hasn't just won fights. She has erased opponents. She has sent fighters to hospitals. She has created highlight after highlight. And she's only just getting started. Just say yes.